Hey guys, how's it going tonight? Got a great lesson for you. So this one's all about practicing scales and learning root notes, and being able to play freely up and down the neck, and be able to identify where to play in any key, and actually just find your notes. So it's a good exercise on practicing in general. So whether you're doing chords, arpeggios, or scales, we want to use a tool that'll help you work through this stuff instead of having to just guesstimate and make up your own little ways to do it. So let's work with the circle of fifths, it's called. So the circle of fifths is basically called the circle of keys, and it's used to show you how the order of sharps and flats appear in the scales or the keys in order. So it's pretty much used for that. Sharps go one way, the flats go the other way, and it's all 12 keys in the circle. It's like a clock. I can explain a little bit more on what it is and how it works, but that's for another lesson. We're not using it for that. We're using it for a tool to actually direct us on which keys to go to for our practice routine. Simple as that. So another thing you'll want to do is, you'll want to have a copy of your circle of fifths right in front of you, and you'll want to have a map of the fingerboard and all the notes and frets on that as well. So a fretboard diagram would be helpful as well, because we're going to need to know what all the notes are on the sixth string, okay? And eventually the fifth string, fourth string, so on and so forth. But we're going to start with the sixth string doing this exercise. So like I said, we're using this circle. I'm going to go counterclockwise. That's in fourths. It's called the circle of fifths. We're going to go backwards in fourths. So simply, all we have to do is pick a key to start with. I'm going to pick the key of C, right at 12 o'clock. Key of C with the major scale. Major scale fingering would be 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So that going up and down is basically what I'm going to do in all 12 keys, because that's the scale fingering. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Practice your cross picking, practice your posture, and just work on the scale in every position you can. So if we go counterclockwise, you can tell F is the next key. I'm not going to go all the way down to the F there. I'm going to go to the F at the 13th fret. Next spot would be, as you can see, B flat. Or 6th fret. So after a week or two of doing this, you're not going to need the training wheels anymore. You can get rid of the fretboard diagram, because you'll start to memorize what all the notes are. But at least for the first couple of weeks, have it handy till you feel like you don't need it anymore. That was E flat, so the next key is A flat. Soon you're not going to need the circle anymore either. You'll end up memorizing the entire circle as well. D flat's next. So as you can see, it's a pretty easy method. So you can use anything. Say arpeggios is what you want to practice. We'll do a major 7 arpeggios. That was C. Let's do F down here. B flat. So you might be asking, why does Rye want us to do it in fourths instead of fifths? I just like the sound of it. Honestly, it just flows better. So you can continue all the way around the circle doing your arpeggio workout. Even if you're doing chords, so you need to learn 7th chords, dominant sevens. You would walk them around the circle the same way. Yup. Then you're getting the experience of playing these chords everywhere instead of just one spot, you know, and then you have to move, and all of a sudden your fingers aren't used to being in that position, so you have to work it out. You know, this is a good way to just get ahead of that. So chords, scales, arpeggios, you name it. Once you get the sixth string down with your majors, your minors, the modes, whatever you're going to be working on, then you would work on the fifth string. So you bring the fretboard diagram map back and you start working on fifth string root chords, scales, and arpeggios, and so on and so forth. So you get it. So I hope this helps you out, and I'm pretty sure it will if you take the time to kind of do it in the steps that I told you to. So use the circle, use a fretboard diagram, know your scales, shape before you start, and you know, have it on your fingers in at least one key pretty well before you start moving it around. And yeah, just go for it. You know, it might take a while to complete the whole circle, but that's your goal. And you want to make this a workout and a scale practice at the same time. You're going to learn some theory, you're going to learn some ear training, and you're going to definitely build some technique. So it's a win-win-win, you know, kill three birds with one stone. So literally, have some fun and practice this stuff. Use easy scales maybe at first, like the pentatonic minor, and then work your way up, you know. So it's more about learning how to go up and down the neck and memorize your notes and get the experience to play the stuff that you're playing in all the keys. So it's another lesson. It's a wrap. Guys, have a good night. Peace.